Honorable Shri Justice Alok Aradi, the Honorable Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Honorable Shri Justice Edwin Sabri, Administrative Judge, Bombay High Court, Nagpur Bench, Honorable Shri Justice Anil Kilor, Judge, Bombay High Court, Shri Tushar Mehta, the Honorable Solicitor General of India, Dr. Birendra Saraf, the Honorable Advocate General for the State of Maharashtra, Honorable Judges of the Bombay High Court, Honorable Shri Justice B.S. Sipurkar of Gujarat Supreme Court of India, Honorable former Judges of the Bombay High Court, learned senior advocates present, Honorable members of the Judiciary, learned members of the legal fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed with a sense of immense pride and joy that on behalf of the High Court Bar Association Nagpur, she will be accompanied by Shri Govind Gadikar on the harmonium and Advocate Bhanudas Kulkarni on the tabla. Advocate Bhanudas Kulkarni on the tabla.
सुकवि सुकृति यशोधवन वसन शालिनी ऋषि मुनि गण पुण्यवचन रत्नमालिनी सुकवि सुकृति यशोधवन वसन शालिनी ऋषि मुनि गण पुण्यवचन रत्नमालिनी नवरसमय भुवन महाशिल्पकल्पिनी वन्दे त्वां सरस्वती ज्ञानरूपिणी वन्दे त्वां सरस्वती ज्ञानरूपिणी प्रज्ञाया ऋतं धरा विश्वतोमुखी प्रतिभाया नवनवीन कल्पयोमुखी प्रज्ञाया ऋतं धरा विश्वतोमुखी प्रतिभाया नवनवीन कल्पयोमुखी वाग्देवीयान्तस्थापि च बहिर्मुखी ध्यायेदा परशक्तिं चित् स्वरूपिणी वन्दे त्वां सरस्वती ज्ञानरूपिणी ज्ञानरूपिणी वन्दे ज्ञानरूपिणी
At the beginning of today's ceremony, I invite the dignitaries on the dais to kindly come forward for the lighting of the traditional lamp. As the flame is kindled, may it inspire us all to uphold truth, justice, and the values enshrined in our Constitution.
At the outset, I request the President of the High Court Bar Association, Shri Atul Pandey, to welcome the Honorable the Chief Justice of India with a bouquet.
I request Dr. Bhanudas Kulkarni to welcome respected Dr. Kamaltai Gavai with a bouquet. I request Advocate Gauri Venkataraman, former President of the High Court Bar Association, to welcome Dr. Tejaswini Gavai with flowers.
We are indeed honored to have Dr. Tejaswini Gavai with us today. I now request Advocate Amol Jaltare, Secretary, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit with a bouquet.
Vice President Advocate Pankaj Tidke to welcome Honorable Chief Justice Deepankar Datto with flowers.
I request Vice President Advocate Sharad Bhatkar to welcome Honorable Shri Justice P.P. Varare with flowers.
I request the Treasurer, Advocate Madhav Lakhe, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Sandurkar with a bouquet.
I now request the Joint Secretary of the NCBA, Advocate Prithviraj Chauhan, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Alok Arade with a bouquet.
I invite Advocate Vishwajit Singh Oberoi, Library in charge, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Samre with flowers.
I request Executive Member Advocate Apurva Kolle to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Anil Kilor with flowers.
I request Advocate Bosco Anthony, Executive Member, to welcome the learned Solicitor General of India, Advocate Tushar Mehta, with a bouquet.
I request Executive Member Shri Sagar Katkar to welcome Dr. Birendra Saraf, the Advocate General of Maharashtra, with a bouquet. Thank you, my lords. Thank you, my lords. May I now invite Advocate Atul Pandey, President of the High Court Bar Association, to deliver his welcome address before this August gathering.
Respected dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all. It is my honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome and heartfelt respect to Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Ramkrishna Gavai, the Chief Justice of India. Chief guest of today's function, Honorable Shri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, former Chief Justice of India. President of the function, Honorable Shri Justice Dipankar Datta, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice Prasanna Varade, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Honorable Shri Justice Atul Sandurkar, who holds themselves into the history of a region of history and the one here to felicitate a towering in the Indian judiciary, our very own Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Ramkrishna Gavai, the 52nd Chief Justice of India, a son of soil, whose life and journey are a testament of pervasive legal acumen and devotion to justice. It is a story of rising from humble beginnings, a journey that began in the modest lanes of Nagpur as a first-generation lawyer with no legacy to the service of law and the nation. Your Lordship, even your name, Bhushan, echoes honor and glory. You are not just a jewel in the crown of the judiciary, but the soul of the High Court Bar Association's pride. With balance of helpfulness and humble support, you remain approachable to all of us. Your noble heart has not only upheld the law, but uplifted the spirit of justice itself. Throughout your judicial career, your Lordship has consistently upheld the idea that justice must not only be legal, but also socially meaningful and economically inclusive. You have given voice to the silent, strength to the weak, and hope to those for whom justice often feels out of reach. Justice Gavai is known for very bold, articulate, fearless judgments. Though he supported judicial activism, he always discouraged judicial adventurism and refrained from passing sweeping orders encroaching upon the executive domain. But at the same time, He kept government and its officials on toes in the matter of denying public interest and never hesitated in cracking whips against high and mighty found on the wrong side of law. Recently, your Lordship presided over steam bench of Supreme Court, delivered the landmark judgment on Jhulpi Jangal lands in Vidarbha, striking a crucial balance between environmental conservation and the right of local communities, thereby setting a precedent of sustainable and equitable jurisprudence. Earlier, as a distinguished judge of the Bombay High Court, your verdict in the Shegaon Devasthan jurisprudence in our country. Your elevation to office was not just a personal milestone, but a moment for HCBA and the entire legal fraternity. A large number of lawyers and well-wishers from across the nation, especially from Vidarbha, gathered in Delhi to witness and celebrate the swearing-in ceremony, which shows an overwhelming gesture of respect, admiration, and affection. In your Lordship's view, justice is not a privilege of the few, but a right of all. It must be delivered in a way that respects both individual dignity and the collective good. This deep commitment to socio-economic equity and judicial reform is what makes Justice Gavai is not just a learned judge, but a visionary leader who carries forward the ideas of Constitution with both courage and compassion. On behalf of High Court Bar Association, we offer our heartfelt congratulations as you begin this new and historic chapter, Chief Justice of India. I offer my personal respect and gratitude. May your tenure continue to inspire the spirit of justice in every corner of the country. Once again, I thank each one of you for being a part of this momentous occasion. May the ideals and values reflected today continue to guide us in our service to justice and society. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Advocate Pandey, for your address. Many of our members of the bar have had the good fortune to not only appear before my Lord Justice Gavai, but also to oppose his lordship at the bar when he was practicing at Nagpur. Many of us share fond recollections about his lordship, his warmth and his persona. Today, we would be delighted to hear from a few senior members their memories and reminiscences about my Lord Justice B.R. Gavai. At the outset, I invite Senior Advocate Mr. Firdaus Mirza to speak a few words.
My Lord, Shri Bhushan Gavai, the Chief Justice of India, I Sahib, I got only 3 minutes, so if I am pardoned, the dignitaries on the dais, and the dignitaries of the dais. If I need to address Milord, I'll read a couplet. कि तेरे कदमों से रोशनी फैलती जाती, तेरे कदमों से रोशनी फैलती जाती, इंसानियत की डूबती कश्ती संभलती जाती. Friends, I migrated to Nagpur in 2003 and Milord was elevated the same year. But at that time, he was a government leader, and the last PIL he opposed or appeared as government leader, in that I was appearing for the petitioner. In my own district, that is Yatmal district, it was reported that around 200 kolams have died. So I was requesting the court to take action against the officers for that unnatural death that was reported to be starvation death. my lord called me to his chamber and said this, look, those officers needs to be punished. But what is required today is the assistance to the Kolam tribe that is prevailing, and therefore focus on that. So the first thing I learned in my very first year at High Court, that you need to focus on the targeted group which requires assistance from the courts. My lords, I am indebted for that lesson. And I am happy to share our State Information Commissioner, Mr. Pandey is there, he is witness to that. 30,000 official records were entered in the official records, got BPL, all that. It was required to expand the premises of, as well as we were requiring a large space for parking. But there were encroachment of Matangwadi and Khalwadi area. That was on government land. I, as amicus, simply circulated a note before my lord that they don't have any right to stay there and we need this land. My lord said no. This would not be in equity to uproot these people. And by molding the religion, God got hold the Sansthan, got the, and 2 colonies were constructed there, and the encroachers became the house owners only by molding this religion by the Milord. Milord, later on we issued, Justice Dangare is witness to that, when she was government leader, around 200% came with a memorandum that as we have given us good houses, now we need TVs and sofas also. And another delegation came, they said that now as we have shifted to good colony, we are getting. So, my lord, this was the social justice. There are so many instances in all these PILs that I can mention, and that shows the face of justice, the angle and how the equity is to be judged and what was done by my lord. But while my lord at Mumbai was dealing with Hawker's case, my lord said that the rights of society are to be given preference over the individual rights and restrain the hawkers from unbridled hawking on the roads, footpaths, and that gave the daily commuters a space to walk upon. My lord, your recent judgment on bulldozers, that has given respite to the entire country, the underprivileged, the marginalized, from the tyranny of the oppressors sitting in the state chairs. My lords, the couplet you have used in that judgment, that reminds me that my lords, roots in the social circles, my lords, roots in the underprivileged people, my lords, the couplet says, अपना घर हो, अपना आंगन हो, this was Kavi Pradeep, अपना घर हो, अपना आंगन हो, इस ख्वाब में हर कोई जीता है, इंसान के दिल की यह चाहत है कि एक घर का सपना कभी न छूटे. This shows that though my lord have reached the pinnacle of or the fountainhead of our system, but still my lord remembers the problems faced by each poor person. I'll sum up with quoting a couplet in honor of my lord, that हक की राह पर चलता है, न डगमगाए कभी, इंसाफ का ये दीवाना दिल को जीता सदा. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for revealing such a warm human side of my lord. Now I invite Senior Advocate Shri S.K. Mishra to address the gathering.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice B.R. Gavai, Justice B.R. Gavai. Now I will be maintaining the thing which my learned colleague just now has done with my Lord's permission. Without taking the names and wasting the time of the guest on the dais, I'll proceed by saying that guest on the dais and the honorable guest of the dais, my colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and personal joy to stand before you today to felicitate Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice B.R. Gavai, someone who has been a guiding force in our life and for me, a true friend, philosopher and guide. Sir, your journey through the corridors of law has been nothing short of extraordinary, with a career built on the foundation of integrity, insight, unwavering commitment to justice. You have not only interpreted law, but elevated its spirit. Your judgment, legal thoughts, your reasoning has inspired generations, and your courtroom has always stood as a temple of fairness. But today, we are here not only to honor the robes you wear, but character you embody. Now, as I was asked to give my personal views, because I have seen my Lord as a lawyer, right from the year 1991 and till today. So in these 35 years, how I know my lords, and especially Mr. Justice Bhushan Gavai, and I will again, without cutting short, to illustrate further things, I will describe him, which I know him from last 35 years, with a couplet, that यूं तो जीने के लिए लोग जिया करते हैं, यूं तो जीने के लिए लोग जिया करते हैं, लाभ जीवन का नहीं फिर भी लिया करते हैं। अरे मौत के पहले मरते हजारों, लेकिन जिंदगी उनकी जो सबके साथ जिया करते हैं, जो सबके साथ जिया। My Lord, with respect I say that you are living life and you are living with all of us, and therefore we are indebted to you. Now, my first interaction with my Lord, because I came to know him in the year 1991. Prior to that, I was not having any, because I was not knowing him, to be very frank. And sir, I will remind you that we came very close to each other as a lawyers. In the year 1993, when your Lordship has an inspiring speech in the lawns of Hotel Trupti in the evening on the eve of the election of High Court Bar Association. And that showed a great quality in you of leadership. And from that day, we started working together in the bar and elections, and fortunately, with my Lord's help, we could win the election on all the candidates supported by us were got elected in the year 1993. His leadership quality continued, and he, with his able supporting me, fulfilled my desire to become the youngest president of the District Bar Association in the year 1996. Again, I aspired to become, I am specifically mentioning this, I requested my Lord, that my Lord, now I want to become the president of High Court Bar Association. He specifically told me that, Mr. Mishra, this year you don't contest. We want to create a history in our association by electing a lady president. To be very frank, I thought that I can win the election with my Sena. I didn't accepted his request and proceeded to contest the election. The result was I was defeated because my lord was opposing. And therefore I say very frankly that I was contesting independently with a pride that my Sena will win for me without Krishna with me. And therefore my Krishna is my lord and I was defeated is the fact. And thereafter, that was the year of 2003. My lord was elevated in 2003. And therefore, thereafter, to be very frank, and everybody knows it, though I was very much interested in contesting election, but my lord, you are aware that thereafter I didn't contest an election. Now also I don't have any intention to contest. Because my Krishna is not there today. Now thereafter I have seen him working as government leader. I definitely admit this fact that at least in 46 years of my practice, to be very frank, I have not seen a government leader working the fashion in which Justice Gawai worked. We have seen he has never tried to justify any orders which were illegal, non-justifiable, and he used to tell to the officers that you please withdraw the orders. And if the officer insisted that you go ahead with the matter, he used frankly tell to the court, sir, this order I can't justify, watch this order. Why this he was able to tell? Because he was not under the fear that he will lose his GPC. He wanted that thing from his colleagues who were appearing for the government and for the public bodies. Now here, my Lord Justice Nitin Samre, my Lord Justice Bharti Dangre, and fortunately, I was the Assistant Solicitor General when my Lord was heading a PIL jurisdiction. My Lord has fixed Wednesday as a PIL day, and he used to tell the government leader, the additional government leader, and the Assistant Solicitor General are to be here at 10:30 till the PIL roster, PIL board is not enforced. Everybody was there. Now I was there at that time appearing for both the planning authorities, having 20-25 cases. But I can say with pride that I didn't get any prasad from my lord on the point that you have not studied the matter. Otherwise, we used to get lot of prasads from my lord. But the way in which my lord has handled the PIL jurisdiction, immense. Now it has worked wonders for Nagpur. The flyovers, the widening of road, not only Nagpur, entire Vidarbha is benefited. And the highway, most particularly the Jabalpur highway, wherein my lord has quashed an order passed by an NGT, which was subsequently challenged in Supreme Court and was upheld. I admit here and say that metro is a gift of my lord to the Nagpur city. So I used to appear for metro and every hurdles were removed. Therefore, how the metro came in the city of Nagpur. So his working is immense. He has worked for the common people and he always wanted that justice not only should be done, but it should reach to the common people. And he is still doing it as a judge. I will say I am exceeding some time, but I will say that he was never adamant. He used to change his view. Always used to change the view. I am at the cost of exceeding my time. I will be failing in my duty if I am not able to tell it. That one matter in respect of development control rules was before the my lord. It was argued and it could not be finished. My lord specifically said from the bench that Mr. Mishra, you are appearing for respondent, there is nothing, we are going to allow this petition. The court was adjourned because of short of time. It was kept day after tomorrow. Unfortunately, I had gone to Mumbai and I could not come to that day. My lord took it left and right and said that Mr. Mishra is avoiding the bench. Ask him to be here. Fortunately, now my Lord Justice Tangre was the government leader. He telephoned me and said that you immediately come. My Lord Justice Chandurkar was the other judge with my Lord. Now, my Lord heard me for an hour. And do you know what was the order? My Lord said, petition dismissed, reasons to follow. That is what. Therefore, now I will conclude by saying that we have been inspired by your Lordship's presence only. Generations are inspired, and we have now to conclude, without taking further time, the inspiration which we have derived from my Lord can be said in a couplet. यह भी अगर मान लो ऊंची पर्वत की चोटी है, यह भी अगर मान लो ऊंची पर्वत की चोटी है, किंतु फावड़े के समक्ष धरती पर आकर लोटी है। यही इरादे साथ लिए हर संकट में तू बढ़ता जा, दुख की ऊंची दीवारों की उम्र बहुत ही छोटी है, उम्र बहुत ही छोटी है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for bringing forth to all of us the divine side of my Lord Justice Gawai. I now invite Senior Advocate Shri Anand Jaiswal on stage to share his thoughts with us.
My Lord Justice Gawai, dignitaries on and off the dais, forgive me for not acknowledging everybody because of paucity of time. Today I wish to place before this August gathering my personal memories and observations, not as Justice Gawai, but as him as a person, not as a judge, but as a person and his development which led him to become an excellent government leader and a judge par excellence. Let me take you back about 3 decades when we were juniors. The High Court Bar Association Nagpur was then a small body. The 2 annex buildings we see today were not there. There were only 2 bar associations, one in the library on the ground floor and one on the first floor. Besides that, there were some chambers in the ground floor, and of course Naidu's canteen, all of us would recollect that. Everybody knew everybody because the number was limited. At least the seniors knew us as belonging to somebody's office. So we used to interact with each other, all the juniors, quite a bit in the corridors and outside the court. In the early 1990s, once there was a buzz in the corridors. Why? Because a new lawyer had appeared in the corridors, a tall, lanky young man. We were told that he is the son of R.S. Gawai. R.S. Gawai even then was a very formidable persona in our politics. So we did not know what to expect from this person who is the son of R.S. Gawai. What we came to find is a person who had no airs about his background, a person who was very frank in his talk, and spoke with a candor which was very rare for that time. He was not judgmental of anybody, nor did he have any fixated ideas about anything. What we found was a person with whom we would talk, not only about what was happening in court, but about everything, about our seniors, about bar politics, about the politics of the state, about forest, wildlife, so many things, everything under the sun, either in the corridors where we met, or in the canteen over a cup of tea, and on some occasions also in the evenings over something stronger than tea. What we really came to find was a true friend, and that has been cherished by all of us in all these years. Then came the responsibilities. The first responsibility which came was that of the government leader. As Mr. Mishra has pointed out, he had a knack of looking at the matter not only from the government's point of view, but an overall point of view. And he would take a fair view of the matter, and I'm sure he must have faced a lot of pressure, but he never bowed under the pressure. This was a facet of his personality which came to fore only after this responsibility was brought upon him and he became the government leader. Then, of course, came his elevation as a judge of the Bombay High Court, an occasion which we all celebrated. We were all happy that one amongst us has become a judge. His growth, I am speaking of his personality, his growth trajectory was phenomenal. He was able, he had the uncanny ability to sift the chaff from the grain and come to the truth. He had the ability to listen, not just listen, but understand and empathize. In my humble opinion, empathy is something which is most needed in a judge, because it is only with empathy that you can deliver true justice. And this was there in plenty. In a short while, my lord became a favorite of everybody, and especially I speak for the younger members of the bar at that time. They really enjoyed appearing before him because he encouraged them, he treated them as equals and made them work. He guided them and told them what to do. Now, after a very successful stint as a judge of the Bombay High Court, he was elevated truly deservingly to the Supreme Court of India. It was another occasion when the bar came together, the bar celebrated as one, and really took pride in the fact that one amongst us had now reached the highest court of the land. He carried with him the same demeanor by which he dispensed justice in the Bombay High Court and became known as one of the judges who would stand no nonsense but would deliver justice even in the Supreme Court. The loss of the juniors of Bombay became a gain of the nation. My lord, we have been privileged to watch your growth from a lawyer right up to the Supreme Court. And on this occasion, when your lordship has now adorned the highest seat of the land, on behalf of all your innumerable admirers, friends and well-wishers here in Nagpur, and on my own behalf, I wish you a glorious career, even more glorious than what it has been today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for speaking about such unknown facets of my lord's early career days. It is my privilege to invite Senior Advocate Shri Sunil Manohar to speak a few words.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Shri B.R. Gavai, Mrs. Gavai, Senior Mrs. Gavai, former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, Shri Uday Lalith, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, My Lord Justice Datto, My Lord Justice Varai, My Lord Justice Chandorkar, Justice Samre, Justice Kiror, other sitting judges of the Bombay High Court, retired judges of the Bombay High Court, Honorable the Solicitor General of India, Honorable the Advocate General of India, President of the Bar, members of the Bar, and especially the junior members of the Bar. It's a golden moment today for the Nagpur Bar Association that we assemble here to honor and felicitate Justice Gavai for attaining the pinnacle of judicial career. As they say, higher than the highest, higher than whom none higher sat. My association with Justice Gavai goes back to 1987, as I recollect when I met him for the first time on the steps of the Supreme Court of India. He was then a practicing lawyer at the Supreme Court of India. And we talked briefly, but since then, we developed a connection and a bonding which sustained till now. I won't call him a friend of mine, but we shared tremendous camaraderie and bonhomie amongst each other. Today, I propose to speak of Justice Gavai as a man I have found him to be, shorn of all the ornamentations and trappings of the various posts he held. Anybody who would interact with Justice Gavai for a few minutes would realize that he has a very sharp intellect. And as a lawyer and as a judge, he had a robust grasp of the matter and an uncanny ability to go to the heart of the matter at once. But apart from that, his sterling quality was his fearlessness and courage. Considerations like what the bar would say, or what would be the public opinion, or what would the powers that may be would think about the judgments, never touched my Lord Justice Gavai. Apart from this quality, what I have personally experienced and the bar must have experienced is his total openness of mind. Till the last word was spoken. I would briefly cite an illustration. My Lord Justice Dangre, who was then a very able government leader, and we were appearing for a matter for the government. It was a matter about appointment of a pro-vice chancellor. And after hearing the petitioners, Justice Gavai was so dead against us that for the first 5 to 10 minutes, all we had to face was a hostile monologue. Justice Dangre would remember, perhaps we were either looking down or looking at each other. And then after 10 minutes, Justice Gavai said, yes, go on, say what you want to say. Sharp as he was, within 20 minutes, he said that you seem to be right in law. But then he said we would like to have a second opinion. One of the ablest lawyer was appointed as an amicus. He heard us again. And while he concluded what he spoke, the words still ring in my ears. He said, my views and my predispositions notwithstanding, the law must prevail. You have the judgment. It's not just about the openness of mind. But as I said, though he sits higher than the highest, he has himself put the rule of